Hello retro gamers and welcome back to Retro Games Forever. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe if you want to see all future retro gaming videos that I do. Right, I'm going to be setting this emulator up to run Amiga CD32. It is the Uae4arm. It can be found on the Play Store. Right, so once you've downloaded that, the first thing we need to do, I've got this file manager, so I do recommend this one. And you need to download these Amiga CD32 Kickstart ROMs. These are vital. If you've not got them, forget it. Easy to find on Google. Just Google what it says there and you will find them. Put them in a file. Next thing also is your games. The Amiga CD32 didn't have a massive library of games, but a lot of games have been transferred now from the Amiga. There's compilations out there, there's homebrew games. There's quite a big library there. A lot of compilations. As you see, I will leave you the link in the description for the best place for these. So let's go back to this emulator. So we're going to open it up. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go to configuration. And I'll just show you how to do this. I've already got Amigas, but all you have to do is click on this, which will say UAE config. So you'll click on that. So you press at bottom name and you'll name Amiga CD32. Bring your screen up to go back and press save. So I'm just going to load this up. Now the next thing, we need to go to quick start. Amiga model. You will have to click on this and there you have your different models. So Amiga CD32. Right. This one, CPU and FPU, you do not have to change anything on there. Just leave it how it is. That is fine. The chipset, the only thing you have to change here is where it says extra. Click on it and select CD32. Right. ROM. Right. So, main ROM file. Click the three dots here, which will bring this up. Click the dots again, which will bring you into your SD card. That is where I have got my Amiga, as you can see there. So, you need to click this one, Kickstart version 3.1. Right, then extended ROM, and select this one. Right, next thing, when you've done that, I want you to go to your configuration and I want you to press save. Right, so that's that done. So next we're on RAM. This, you can leave it. I've had no problem with any games. Some games will not work, but I don't think it's anything to do with this emulator. I just think it's the various games, different ROMs, you know. One game might not work. Like I had a problem with Chuck Rock. I downloaded another ROM and it worked. But as far as this is concerned, I would leave that like it is. Next one, we go to this. We don't have to touch this. This is only for if you're using a normal Amiga emulator, which I am going to do a video on that as well. Right. The hard drive, this is where you will start up your games. So you go down to the lines here, the three bottom, just here. Find your games. Sorry, I've pressed. Which are there. So we have my games. I've got them in folders, these. I prefer them in a folder. There's your games. Now what I want you to do is go back. In fact, no, we'll click on that. I'm going to press OK. And I want you to go back to configuration and save it. The reason in this is because if you don't, when you go back, you've got to go back through finding the games. Where if I show you now, we'll just jump out of this. So I'm going to press quit, go back on. CD32, load. Then we'll go to the drive, open it up, and there it is. So all you do is press the dots again at the top. Can you see these two dots? Takes you back to your ROMs. If you didn't do that, you'd have to keep going through your SD card. I'm not going to start any games up yet because we'll go to display. Nothing needs to be changed there. Same with sound. Right, game ports. This is where you have to change it here. This port 2, you need to change that to CD32. Go back to configuration and save that. Then import. You don't have to change any of that. Miscellaneous, you don't have to change any of that. That can all be kept how it is. Same with now this one on screen. Right, it's up to you, but I'm going to take all these off. I've got a controller, so if you're using a Bluetooth controller, it's you can have it, but if you want touch screen, leave them all on. But I'm going to tick all these. The only one I'm going to leave on is text input. That's to bring your keyboard up. So back to configuration, save. Right, I'm going to turn the controller on. I'm going to go back to drives. Right. Always click on the CUE file. Sometimes they don't have them, so you can just press. So press that. I'm going to start it up. This is definitely my top 5 Amiga CD32 shooting ups of this game. Let's just dive straight into this game. Press start on the controller, because that then takes you back to this. So what you can press then is restart. That's if you want to choose a different game. I'm just going to go back to this on screen. I don't know why that is not coming up, text input. It should be there. In fact, click that one, I made a mistake. These two need to be clicked. So it's just in keyboard, but to be honest, I don't think you really need keyboard for the CD32, but I'm going to leave that on. But let's go back to our drives. I'll just show you some of these compilations. Like this one. Start it up. So there we have. Click on your button. So like I say, some of these compilations are brilliant. 200 Amiga games. As you can see, when I was telling you, I've put the stir in the top left corner. That just brings your keyboard up. That's vital when I'm setting the normal Amiga up, but I will do a video on that. Another classic game, Nebulous. Very addictive game. If you haven't played this, you really need to play this one. Now let's jump back into there. So as far as I know, that's everything you need to know. If you do any issues, please put it in the comments and I will get straight back to you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give us a like. Like I said, I've gone through this nice and slow for you. Hope you enjoy playing the Amiga CD32. Definitely a very underrated console. Didn't do too well on sales, but I was a big fan of it. Wished I'd never sold it. Right, thanks for watching. Like I say, keep an eye, hit that subscribe because I will be doing a setup for the Amiga, as also the 600 and the 1200. Right, thank you. Take care.